3, 2, 1, mark. All right, we are in.
Lead him across the line.
He's going to get down here first.
Look at Andrew Tate flying from deck to deck.
You have drones that are flying above the course, and they are basically like our eye in the sky, and those drones are recording. So if there is maybe somebody that wants to petition saying I didn't cut that person off, it's all on record, it's all recorded. The officials will go through and they will relook at that, just like in an NFL replay, and make sure that the penalty that they have assessed does stay. 99.9%, well, that's funny with the car star going out, is going to stand. Once they make that penalty, it will stand.
So we are getting ready to go racing here in our Heat 3A. We are right now about 2 minutes and 15 seconds away from our start. And this is when we like to take an opportunity to formally introduce the 4 boats that will come out in our Heat 3A, presented for Seafair by Oberto Specialty Meats Company. Our first boat is U1 Delta Reel Track, driven by our 2018 Seafair champion, Andrew Tate.
And the Lord came down and put a spoon in my mouth. It tasted so bad.
Andrew is going to be joined, as he was in 2A, he's going to be joined again in Heat 3A with the U6, the powder blue and white Miss HomeStreet, driven by Jimmy Shane.
And I've set up and tore down this stage with my own 2 hands. We've traveled this land, packed tight minivans, and all this for the fans, girls, money, and fame. I played their game.
Our third boat in Heat 3A, presented by Oberto Specialty Meats, is the Graham Trucking presents Beacon Plumbing. The driver, J. Michael Kelly. Rounding out our 4-boat field is the U98 Graham Trucking American Dream. The driver, Corey Peabody. I mentioned Heat 3A is sponsored by the Oberto Specialty Meats Company. It is Heat 3A. This is the last chance, Nate Brown, for these 4 drivers, Andrew Tate, Jimmy Shane, J. Michael Kelly, and Corey Peabody, to earn points to get into that final heat. You were talking about guys who needed good draws, bad draws, difficult draws because they need points. Corey Peabody needs some points, and that's a tough draw for him.
Yeah, it is. And unfortunately for Corey, he's just got to start and finish and do the best he can and get some exposure for a sponsor and get some experience too. Like I told him in person, you're not going to become a better driver when you're driving a fast boat. You're only good when you're driving a slow boat.
That's exactly right. All right, we're coming up on 10 seconds to the 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
That's your 5-minute gun. Now it's time to go boat racing. Here's who will be racing in Heat 3A, presented for Seafair by Oberto Specialty Meats. Seafair thanks HomeStreet Bank, proud sponsor of the HomeStreet Bank Cup. The start of Heat 3A is just a few minutes away. Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water while the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. Now, it's time to get out on the water and enjoy the world's fastest hydroplanes. 3A, presented for Seafair by Oberto Specialty Meats.
Thank you very much, Kay Brewer. Looking at the clock, you're right on time. 4 minutes to the start of Heat 3A. Presented to Seafair by Oberto Specialty Meats. We've gone down the list a couple of times. Let's do it again. Let's start with U1, Delta Real Track. The driver, Andrew Tate. The predominantly white boat. It is just coming off the exit buoy of the corner on the south end of the race course and starting up the backstretch. It is trimmed in fluorescent orange and yellow. And the driver, Andrew Tate from Walled Lake, Michigan. Entering the south turn right now, the predominantly blue boat, trimmed in white, the Miss HomeStreet. It is U6. It is owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. The driver, Jimmy Shane from Maple Valley, Washington. He is about a third of the way up the backstretch. From Bonnie Lake, Washington, J. Michael Kelly. He will sit behind the wheel of the all-red U12. Graham Trucking presents Beacon Plumbing. The all-red boat is trimmed in black and silver, and he is coming down the front straightaway. Just made a move to the left a little bit, I think, to get into lane 1. It almost looked like he had a notion of cutting the race course, and that would have been an illegal maneuver from where he was, because you've got to cut the front to back down here at the lower end of the course. I doubt that was the case. He's going to come all the way down. Rounding out our field from Kent, Washington, Corey Peabody, driving the U98, the red, white, and blue Graham Trucking American Dream. That boat is red, white, and blue. Where's Corey? Corey's about halfway up the backstretch right now in front of the log boom. So Peabody, Kelly, Shane, and Tate. Here we go again, Nate. See if we can keep them from bumping each other this time.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. I don't see what's going on a whole lot here, except that Jimmy just kind of popped on the inside of Andrew, and see what happens coming up here. Is he going to get taken away again?
Yeah, well, when he popped into that inside lane, the boat leaped out of the water on him. He had the nose about 5 or 6 feet out of the water, and now he's losing some power there. He might get a warning there. We'll monitor the radio. He dropped way down, Nate.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit like that before you get a warning, and he did just fine on that one. He's just getting a mark. The corners, when these skid fins leave, if you look out there, if you're on the beach here, see the white caps in the corners? Those are all created by the skid fins. So they're just huge. They're like 1.5 foot deep rollers.
1:42 until the start, so we'll look for these guys to come off the top end of the race course and come right down the front straightaway. I think we're seeing J. Michael Kelly do some of that back and forth that we've seen him do here last year, and a lot of the guys have been doing on the race course. Saw Andrew Tate doing a lot of it last week, just going from an inside lane to an outside lane just to scruff off time, because they're going to get down here at 1:20.
Yeah, no shenanigans this time. They're all kind of settling in. You're going to have Jimmy Shane in lane 1. You're going to have J. Michael Kelly in lane 2, Andrew Tate in lane 3, and Corey Peabody in lane 4.
Yep, and Andrew's going to hang back here. He is going to do as Kay Brewer was pointing out. He's going to try and hang behind everybody and get a rolling start to come down here to start-finish line, which will happen in 56 seconds. We're inside 1 minute to the start of Heat 3A, presented by Oberto Specialty Meats. So up the backstretch, once again, J. Michael Kelly driving the 12. The Graham Trucking presents Beacon Plumbing. He's in 1. Jimmy Shane in the Miss HomeStreet is in 2. It looks like Peabody is on the far outside, and Andrew is going to park in lane number 3 and have a lot of real estate to work with, Nate.
He's going to do the same thing. He's going to try to get a rolling start on the outside and do what Jimmy Shane did the first heat. So you can tell right now the other guys are just a smidgy early, and they're not going to be a full head of steam. And Andrew, unfortunately, kind of crept up there a little bit early, I think. He could have held back a little bit.
Driving around, Jimmy Shane would be a tall order.
He's got to get on it now.
15 seconds until the start. Now we're inside that. They square up and come down. It is Kelly in 1, Shane in 2, Tater in 3, and Peabody on the outside. We're 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark. They are across the start-finish line. Jimmy Shane again's got the jump on the field. The start has been ruled good by the officials. Now we'll see if he gets dividends, he being J. Michael Kelly on the inside. But it was a lot of boat speed in that powder blue Miss HomeStreet. And you see he's got about a 2-boat length lead on J. Michael Kelly. They get to the exit pin and start down the backstretch. This looks like a rerun of Heat 2A. Jimmy Shane just flying down the backstretch. He is driving away from JMK. And on the outside, buried in the rooster tail, is Andrew Tate. Nate, whoa, he looks really hot.
Wow, I'll tell you what, Jimmy Shane just took a really rough corner down there. I hope everything's okay. He lost some ground. The JMK is going to sneak up a little bit on the inside, but yeah, Jimmy Shane took a hop down there. He's flying that thing, though. Look at him coming up.
coming down here to put one in the books. And Shane, yes, if he had a problem, he has got it figured back out. But now the race is going to be for second and third, because look at Andrew Tate on the far outside. Tate is going to pull up with a couple of boat lengths at JMK. Again, it's just like 2A, Nate, because Andrew's got to drive a huge race course where JMK's sitting in lane 1.
Yep, JMK's in some slop, and Andrew's going to be out in some smooth water. And if he hangs in there and finds a smooth lane out there fairly close to that roller, he's going to be able to beat JMK, but he's got to hold it in as tight as he can. There you look at him. He's pulling in front right now.
He just flew by him up the backstretch, but now they get up to the top end of the course. JMK is able to stay tight on the buoy row, but Andrew Tate's got better water, but he's on the far outside. Meanwhile, Jimmy Shane comes off the top end of the race course. He will come down. He will get the white flag, meaning one more to go. It's been a perfect weekend so far for Jimmy Shane, but look at our race for second place. Second place now clearly belongs to Andrew Tate in the U1, the Delta Reel track.
We got someone come apart on.
Yeah.
Cowling is hanging up on his wing.
It is. The cowling has come off of the U12, and there's no cover over the engine. That's why it looks very low profile, but that cowling is hanging on the horizontal stabilizer.
He's got the inner cowling hanging on the horizontal stabilizer. All he's got to do is limp it around this corner. I know his crew is going, come on, hang in there. Do not lose that intermediate cowling, because you got to build another one if you don't have one.
So he can take it easy and come home in third place and take his 225 third place points. He will be in great shape to make it into the final. Meanwhile, our leader, and he has dominated this set of boats in 2 back-to-back heats in 2A, this time in 3A, presented by Oberto Specialty Meats. Jimmy Shane driving to Miss HomeStreet, the U6, a dominant victory here, and he has sent a message. I can beat you guys on the outside. Give me an inside lane. I can handle that too. His timing marks are right on. And it's Andrew Tate. He comes down and will pick up a second place. JMK, exactly as our Nate Brown said, they want him to just limp it back, and that is what he is doing. And it looks like he's going to bring the parts back.
I don't know how he still has that cowling on there, but like you said, and you want to get the team wants that thing in there. You can see them anxiously out here on the dock waiting for Michael Kelly to bring it in. And it brings new meaning to this. Jimmy Shane won that heat, but boats were tearing apart trying to keep up with him, but Michael Kelly able to hold on to that. And you know what, though? I have a feeling there's going to be some serious damage on that, because see where that is sitting on the back of that turbine. It might have some severe damage to the 12, though, but I'm sure with the help of all the rest of his teams, all of the other teams out here on the course, they might have an extra one, or we'll be able to help. I would not put it past any of these other teams to jump onto that Graham trucking trailer once this boat is up there to help get Michael Kelly out onto the course.
Well, it's like most forms of motorsports racing. You want to beat that guy, and you want to beat him pretty bad, but you want to beat him on the race course. You don't want to leave him here in the pit area. Our Nate Brown, who will know as well as anybody what the situation is there, I think, and we're going to let Nate go find out. I think it looks a whole lot worse than it is.
And it was pretty funny when Michael came out of that cockpit. The first thing he did was look back and went, uh-oh.
Yeah, well, he was looking in his rearview mirror, and he thought, boy, a boat that looks just like mine's getting real close.
Yeah. So
These guys are really lucky. I mean, looking at this cowling here, and even the heat from the exhaust pipe, it doesn't even look like it melted it that bad. I just can't imagine that. I mean, this is a first for me in 35 years. I've never seen a cowling stay on the back of a boat that's off the boat.
No,
I've never seen one land perfectly. JMK's had some boat damage in the past. Remember, he lost the feathering, and he finished, I think it was 2 laps with it just hanging on there. I've seen it before, but this, folks, this one you might want to take a picture of and put it in your keepsake. I think this might need to go in the Gold Cup Lounge. It may not be a Gold Cup race, but you may want to take a picture of this, Brad, and put it up in your Gold Cup Lounge.
There's a lot of people in the dock here. I think I'm going to let these guys go, but they're pretty fortunate on this, and there does look like a lot of damage to that cowling. I don't know if it's going to be able to be saved to go on the boat so quick, but they probably got a spare.
Yeah, Nate, I would suggest to go find Jimmy, and then maybe by the time you're done with Jimmy Shane, you come back and find Michael Kelly and ask him, how was it to feel with that extra weight on the back? I mean, that has got to take the whole balance of that hydroplane way off kilter. I'm not sure how he even kept that thing on the water. Still, he was still doing probably 95 to 100 miles. Well, he's probably doing 150 with that cowling back there like that.
Well, it'd be like a parachute. I mean, it would be terrible back there. Plus, it would plant the back end of the boat. It would lift the nose. Fortunately, we have front wings we can control. And, he's a driver. He's a professional driver. He was driving the condition of the boat at the time. So he did a good job. He got a good score. So that's what he's for.
I'm trying to find out. We're watching the monitor here, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where it happened. It seemed to me that when he went up to the top end of the race course and the floating bridge turned, it seemed to me that when he went up there on lap 2, he was okay. When he came out of the corner and Andrew went around him on the outside to take over second place, something didn't look right on JMK's boat. Something just didn't look right through the spray, and as it turned out when he got down here, we saw he had this cowling issue. So I'm going to assume it happened somewhere up at the top end of the race course, maybe in that corner. But you guys are right as you're talking about it. Can't say I've ever seen one hang right there.
Well, that's the great thing about the social media. If you go to the Facebook side of the H1, I'm sure they're going to gather up all the videos from this weekend from what I was just talking about, the drone views. So they'll have some of those videos located on the H1 site or a link to show you exactly how to get to that. So I know you, Brad, are just like me. After the races, you go home and you watch more videos and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember when that happened. So urge everybody to go onto Facebook.com and go check out the H1 site. That's also another great place to see when our up-and-coming races are and how to contact H1 to get involved being a sponsor.
Nate, just to give you a heads up on timing here, I know you're waiting to get drivers down there, get some reaction to our Heat 3A presented by Alberto Specialty Meats, but we are inside 5 to the 5. We're at 9:45 until the start of our Heat 3B, presented by Graham Trucking.
And I've got Jimmy Shane here as soon as he finishes up with the TV. I think they wrapped up right now, and I'll walk over here. Jimmy, 30 seconds here. How was that? It looked like you did a great start out there. Did you see the cowling stuck on the back of the boat over there?
I did not. I was definitely not looking behind me during that entire race. So happy that Miss HomeStreet I got a great start, and we're going to keep it rolling. So we're pretty good in all the qualifying heats this year. We've won 2 out of 3 finals. We're looking to bring this HomeStreet Cup home this afternoon.
Awesome job. Who do you have here?
So this is my buddy Morgan. Morgan races the junior hydro division, and Morgan's racing the Miss HomeStreet. All the junior hydros are decorated and vinyled up like the unlimited hydroplanes. So junior hydros where I got my start when I was 9 years old, so I wanted to bring Morgan with me and give him a little taste of what it's like to be in front of the camera.
Well, Morgan, what do you think about this idol here winning that heat?
Good.
Good. What do you think about the sponsor?
Good.
Who's your sponsor?
Miss HomeStreet.
There you go. That's a lesson right there, huh? All right, Jimmy, good job. Guys, back up to you.
Thanks, Nate. You're doing a great job down there. They just showed some of the video of that cowling coming off, and it looks a whole lot better on the back of the boat than it did while he was running because the wind was really blowing it and bending it around. We just saw some replays.
It does look like it might be torn in half, and if you look down on the 12 boat, you got 3 guys down there trying to basically rip that thing off from the back. So not sure how well that's going to work out for him, but I'm hoping to see Michael out there because he's a great driver.
Well, and they've got a little time now to work on this thing, so trust me, those guys will get it done. JMK would like to win this thing, and he's got to be in it to win it. We are inside 3 minutes to the 5. Inside 3 minutes. Seafair would like to thank the fine folks at XLNet. We'd like to thank them as they are the official Wi-Fi provider for Seafair. We're using it up here atop the pit tower, working very, very well, I might add. Thank you to XLNet from Seafair. Diageo Smirnoff. Thank you to Seafair sponsor Smirnoff Seltzer. At only 90 calories and 0 sugar, stop by the Smirnoff Seltzer booth in the beer garden to taste all 4 refreshing flavors: raspberry rose, berry lemonade, cranberry lime, and pina colada. That's my favorite one. Seafair thanks Diageo Smirnoff.
Hey, Brad. I got the parachute flyer here. J. Michael, what the heck? I know you didn't know the cowling was back there. Did you think something was going really weird?
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. I thought maybe the motor was losing power. I mean, it was like instant brakes, and I couldn't tell until Tom said, looks like you're losing some cowling off the back of your boat. And then I looked in my mirror, I could see something wedged in the rear wing. It was definitely slowed it down. Glad it didn't tear up anything else, but I had a few other issues with my canard and stuff, so it just was one thing after another. So, but at least it's now and not later. We'll get it fixed, and we'll be fine.
It brought back some parts. It's better than starting from scratch.
Exactly, and you know, our shop's not far from here either, so if we need to run to the boat shop, we'll go get some stuff. But, I mean, these guys will get after it, and I got a top-notch crew that'll give me a winner for the final.
All right, buddy. Hang in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nate Brown. We are 50 seconds away from the 5-minute gun. Let's talk about the boats in our Heat 3B, presented by Graham Trucking. The U7 Boitano Homes with Bert Henderson. Boat number 11, J&D, presented by Reliable Diamond Tool and Jamie Nielsen. The U99.9 CarStar powered Miss Rock KISW Brian Perkins. Rounding out our 4-boat field, a guy who needs points, the U1918, the Oberto Super Salami, and Jeff Bernard. Stand by for the 5-minute gun. Mark, 5 minutes. Time to get boats.
That's your 5-minute gun. Now it's time to go boat racing. Here's who will be racing in Heat 3B, presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking. Seafair thanks HomeStreet Bank, proud sponsor of the HomeStreet Bank Cup. The start of Heat 3B is just a few minutes away. Seafair reminds you that for your safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. Now, it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. Heat 3B, presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking.
Once again, Kay Brewer, you finish. The clock strikes 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start. A Heat 3B presented by Graham Trucking. Running down the boats one more time. The all-red boat. Where is Bert? Top end of the race course at the entrance pin to the north turn. Bert Henderson driving the predominantly red Boitano Homes. We've also got in this heat U11 J&D presented by Reliable Diamond Tool and Jamie Nielsen. That boat is right in front of the log boom entering the upper part of the race course in the north turn. And Nate, what color is that boat?
Chartreuse and yellow, right?
Ah, it's Carnival Orange. Come on.
Carnival Orange, is that what it's called?
Yes, Chartreuse and Carnival Orange. The U99.9 CarStar powered Miss Rock KISW Brian Perkins. Where's Brian? He's coming down the front straightaway here, right behind Bert Henderson, and on his inside, there goes Brian cutting the race course. It's a predominantly white boat with black checkers on it. And then, as I said during the original lineup here, the guy who needs points, the U1918 Oberto Super Salami, and Jeff Bernard. Where is Jeffy?
He's sitting down the north turn, cutting the north turn actually, and with 3 minutes left on the clock, he's got a minute and a half to put himself in a position for that inside lane. I could just going to say he's going to better get on that throttle, and he is.
Here he comes. Now we'll see if he doesn't cut the course and say, you know, Jamie has showed me something.
Yeah,
there he goes.
He's got to cut the course because Jamie was down here. He had set himself up. If he didn't, he'd be behind Jamie, and Jamie could control the course. Now he's in front of Jamie. He just has to pass 2 straightaway buoys to establish that lane, and then now he can control Jamie.
I was a little bit surprised there to see Brian Perkins come all the way down. He's still fine on time at 2:23, but he's going to have to run a little harder than the rest of the guys. Where's Bert? Top end of the race course. He just cut the course. He's going to come down across, start, finish. Look for Bert to cut the race course from front to back. He can do so down at this end of the race course. See if he doesn't choose to make a left-hand turn about now. Bert, make me look good, will you? Not going to happen. There he goes.
Yep. He'd have to.
2 minutes. 2 minutes to the start. Heat 3B of the 2019 HomeStreet Bank Cup presented by Graham Trucking. There's already been a warning, Nate Brown, on Jeff Bernard in the U1918. They've told him to pick it up.
Boy, that's unfortunate.
He cannot do it again. He cannot afford a penalty here. He flat needs 400 points.
They got 35 seconds to burn before that score-up buoy, and I think they'll be okay, but they can't drop below 80.
Got to keep it up. He looks to be in pretty good shape right now. I would think they want to be down to this buoy down here at about a minute 10 or after. Brian might be a little early because it's a minute 19 right now. And here comes Jamie and Jeff. That's Jeff on the inside at 1:14. I think they'll be okay, but boy, Jeff's got to be careful here. So we're 7 seconds away from the 1 minute mark. We're 3, 2, 1, mark. 1 minute. 1 minute to Heat 3Bs, presented to Seafair by Graham Trucking. Henderson, Nielsen, Perkins, Bernard.
Brian's way early.
Yep.
I mean, he's I don't know how he's going to do that with 45 seconds left in that part of the course.
If they'd show us on a monitor, we could see if maybe he doesn't decide to just go way wide and scruff off some time, because there's still 35 seconds until the start. He is right now sitting on an inside lane, and he's still sitting there.
He's going slow.
He's committed now. He's going to have to stay there 25 seconds, and he is on the inside lane. Coming up behind him is the balance of the field. Bernard's going to be in 2. Nielsen's going to be in 3. And it's going to be Bert Henderson on the outside. We've got another warning now on the 99.9. And not surprising that, he's crawling up to the start-finish line. We are inside 10 seconds, and we are now down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Bert had a head of steam. Unfortunately, these boats accelerate so fast. The start is under review, though, so we'll see what's going to happen there. It's going to be close. It did look close.
4 boats haul into the lower corner down there. It was Bert with a lot of boat speed on the outside, but now you see the advantage of being on an inside lane. You see the sun reflecting off that bright green of the Oh Boy Oberto running down the backstretch. That's the Oberto Super Salami. But look at Jamie Nielsen again. He is way out in lane number 3, but he is hauling up the backstretch, Nate.
He sure is. He's in that tail. He can come off this north corner. You'll see him. But look at Brian Perkins holding his own on the inside lane there, too.
Yeah, we're going to have a great race here for second place if it holds up. Nielsen with a great run in Heat 2B. He got a first place finish. The start has been ruled good. So the way they're running on the water is the way they are officially after the start. Bernard opened up almost a rooster tail. And now your second place boat, Jamie Nielsen. But he's doing it on the far outside. He's driving the daylights out of it, Nate. Got his hands full with Brian on that inside lane.
He sure does. He's got to keep him in the mirror. He knows he's right there. And Jamie, he's got to push hard. He's got to pedal that thing as fast as he can, because he needs second place points here. And that's a Donnybrook for second and third. Look at that. They're deck to deck going up that log boom stretch.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is all about in H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing. Hook a couple of boats up side by side, and it's one of the better visuals you will get in all of sports. Jeff Bernard with a big lead, top end. He's got still a full rooster tail. And I'll tell you what, it is Perkins on the inside in second place, but he's going to start running through some sloppy water. Nielsen's running a bigger course, but he can go outside and have some better water, Nate.
He sure can, but, you know, Perkins' boat, for such a brand-new boat, is handling that rough water pretty good. They're still deck to deck coming up the front stretch. If you look through that tail, there they are. There's not a hair between them.
Boy, they are really running. And Bernard's he's got boats in his left side mirror. He's got a boat in his right side mirror. This is the checkered flag lap. Nielsen's got to get those second place points. Perkins doing everything he can. And look at Brian pull up on Jeff Bernard.
That was a
whale
corner.
of a corner.
Whatever,
holy cow.
Whatever he did on that corner, do it again, and it's going to be there, because Jamie's got a little bit of tough go now.
And Nielsen is flying. This is going to be quite a finish here as they're going to come down. It's our Heat 3B.
Oh, look at Jamie. He's right out in front of him now. He's really rocketing.
This is going to be a great finish to Heat 3B, presented by Graham Trucking. Going to be a drag race off the top end of the race course. They square up and come down. Looking for the checkered flag. I think Bernard's going to get it, but the second place is going to go to Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen on the outside is going to get second place. And third place is going to go to Brian Perkins in the 99.9. Holy smoke, Carstar powered Miss Rock KISW. That's the best that new boat has run. Holy cow, that was fun. And Bernard got out front and it kind of looked like maybe that part of the race was over.
Not at all. That was a great race, and, you know, I just realized, and Kay reminded me, I had to get down there in the dock, but that was an excited one to watch, and I'm excited up here in the tower. I think all the fans were excited up and down the beach, too, as well.
Wow. Nate, that was awesome. And fans here, I'm assuming you like that one. That's what H1 Unlimited Racing is like at its best. You don't have to have the boats side by side out front. As long as you just get a couple of boats hooked up and they start throwing that water in the air on a beautiful Lake Washington in a gorgeous setting like this, it doesn't get any better than that.
Well, let's go ahead and read our unofficial results here, Brad, on that last heat of Heat 3B.
Well,
presented
I want to mention, first of all, that Boitano Homes, the U7, driven by Bert Henderson, did come home in 4th place. My apologies to Boitano Homes. You guys ran a good race. You had a whale of a start. The start for the 7, Boitano Homes, on the far outside, the bright red boat, was so good that the officials put the start under review. They had to go back and re-rack the tape, as we're watching some footage here of Jamie Nielsen just flying the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange U11. And you know what? Jamie Nielsen got around Brian Perkins there on that final straightaway. Watching the monitor here, Perkins actually got to the exit pin at the top end of the course a little bit before Jamie did. And wow, that was something special. So our unofficial order of finish, and it's the way they finished on the water. We did not hear of any calls on the water, but of course we have to go through technical inspection. First place, the U1918, the Oberto Super Salami. Jeff Bernard, he needed 400 first place points. It appears if they go through tech inspection, he got them. Second place went to the U11, J&D's, presented by Reliable Diamond Tool, Jamie Nielsen. Another really strong run for that boat. Third place went to the U99.9 Carstar powered Miss Rock KISW, Brian Perkins. He came home in 3rd place, and as I said, U7, the bright red Boitano Homes and Bert Henderson came home 4th. Kay, did you like that one?
I did, and you were talking about how hard Jamie was driving that J&D's Presents Reliable Diamond Tool. And we were watching him as he was coming down the front stretch on lap 2. He got super flighty on that. But that's what you have to do. You have to ride these boats, drive these boats, fly these boats to the extremes at 200 miles an hour to be able to make it to the final. And we got the final coming up later on this afternoon. Earned his way there by some great driving by Jamie Nielsen this weekend.
And if Nate was here, he would explain it in some lengthy technical term. But I know he's listening to you. But he will explain it some lengthy technical term. But the bottom line to what you were just talking about, if your boat is touching the water is creating friction, that is slowing you down. The further you can get your boat up out of the water and run it on air, that's less friction. You can go faster. Further you want to fly the boat, the closer you come to the point of no return.
Yes, and we actually unfortunately saw that last year with the Oberto driver of Cal Phipps coming around. I believe that was on the very last lap coming into turn 2. So it wouldn't be the first time we've seen him, and it wouldn't be the last time we've seen it, but we always want to see our boats leave on their own power and come back on their own power, wet side down. And it's been a great day of racing. We still have a little bit more racing to go. So if you haven't come into the pits, there's still opportunities to make sure you come on into the pits and see these drivers and see these boats up close.
A little bit more racing. We got the grand finale. Everything builds toward our final heat. Do not go away. We've got much more to come here at Seafair. It's the 2019 HomeStreet Bank Cup at Seafair. It is the Seafair Weekend Festival for 2019. Seafair, you have done an awesome job of putting on this event. Looking up and down the shore here, we've got a nice crowd going on. Boeing, thanking you so much for the air show. HomeStreet Bank for the hydroplane racing. Graham Trucking for the Graham Trucking Cup that's going to come up here in our 6 liters if we run it. And just been an outstanding weekend of racing. I know, Nate, you're waiting down there at the other end of the dock to talk to Mr. Bernard. Just jump in when you've got him. I can honestly say that Kay Brewer and I both got so excited in that particular heat, we both forgot what we were doing and referred to the U1918 as the old boy Oberto. And that's not right. It is the Oberto Super Salami. My apologies to the company and Larry, but it doesn't make any difference how you slice that salami. It was fast.
Yes, exactly. You know, and they've done a great job. Oberto has come around, and I'm not sure if you saw it, but I believe it was a week and a half ago, they were right here in Stan Sayers Pits on a Thursday and they rewrapped the Oburian, I just called it the Oburian, the Burian vintage boat with the Oberto salami. You got him?
Speaking of Oberto, I've got a very happy young driver here. Now that's how you do it. You had a rainbow in both mirrors.
Yeah. We had that fuel control issue that happened when we were out front in the last heat, running really good with Jamie. I think we could have had him there, but unfortunately stuff breaks sometimes, and they said to me that was the first time they've ever had a fuel control go out on the race course during a heat. So, you know, these guys all busted their butts in between heats, put a new motor in the boat. We had HomeStreet guys over here. We had our crew over here. Can't thank Charlie Grooms, Miss Madison Racing enough for bringing me on board of this team. I was fortunate enough to be on it in 2015. I knew this was the group of guys that I wanted. I waited so long to get back in a boat to be with this group, and I'm very fortunate. Larry Oberto and Oberto, it's the neatest sponsor you can ask for. I gained a lot of fans just by putting this driver's suit on, and I'm very thankful for it.
Well, way to go, Jeff, and I'll tell you, you earned it. You've done a great job in the sport over the years. I remember you as a kid, and remember you signing that J-Stock hydro hat you had, you know, so we always talk about J-Stocks here, but you are a J-Stock graduate and a unlimited extraordinaire.
I appreciate it, Nate, and, you know, you were my boss 2013 and 14. If it wasn't for guys like you, I wouldn't have this opportunity, so thank you.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Back at you guys.
Hey, great job. Great job by you. Great job by Jeff Bernard. And I can tell you that Kim Meredith is busy down here with her calculator, 2 abacuses. She's throwing things around. She is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, trying to find out who the top 6 boats are that are going to run on the front row and challenge for the 2019 HomeStreet Bank Cup.
Well, we do thank you, Kim, for all your work that you do for us with all your calculations, throwing us